Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, March 21st, and I'm Krista McDonald. This week on Norwood News, Sarah Cullen from the League of Women Voters previews Candidates Night. Sam White has some recreation news. But first, one of Norwood's own recently had a big win in a cooking competition down in Florida. Let's learn about the beginnings and competition-winning dish of executive chef of the 4 Points and One Bistro legend, Paul Acosta.
Graduated Bunker Hill Community College back in 2010, and then straight working in different chefs in Boston. So my mentor is Tiffany Faison of Sweet Chicks in Boston. She's a big celebrity chef, commonly out in Food Network, judges in CHOP, do tournaments of champions and whatnot. So I worked for her for a good 4 years. I ventured out to learn different things from a chef named Scott Harrett in Boston as well. He owns one of the most oldest restaurants in Boston, Marley in Downtown Crossing. And then that's where I got my first sous chef position and worked for him for 4 years too, before I moved here in One Bistro back in 2015. It's not really a planned job for me. I was supposed to be a radiology person because that's what where the money's at. But when I got into that program, especially fresh from the Philippines, when I sat down in that room, I couldn't comprehend my head around it. So I told my mom and dad, I'm gonna go culinary because I thought that was easy and I thought it was fun, but it just opened me to a different world. Again, especially coming from the Philippines, the entire food scene in the New England area it's great, and that's I instantly fell in love. And obviously the birth of my son pushed me to be more, become a line cook. So the competition is called Diced. So basically it is like a CHOP type of competition that they do for this magazine Cater Source. So the competition was very stiff because every chefs that I competed against are all like executive chefs on their own ranks. Like they're like presidents of a catering company, and they're like big event caterers in all over the America. I think I'm the only one in New England. It was pretty fun. It was very nerve-wracking. Mindy showed me the link or the posting about the competition stuff that's happening during our stay over there, and I said, yeah, sure, sign me up. So since my win in Guys Grocery Games, I've been like an adrenaline junkie. Like I want that high. I keep chasing that high over and over again. I joined another competition back in November of 24. It's the kind of same setup, but I didn't win that one. So I kind of like felt defeated at that time. But it was just kind of redemption. That's why when Mindy proposed this competition, I said, yeah, I want to redeem myself from losing that one. I wasn't really worried about the ingredients that was given to me. I was more worried about the judges that was gonna judge my dish. The main judge of the competition is one of the keynote speaker of the entire conference, and his name is Chef Eric. Shout out to Chef Eric. So he did a talk on fresh pastas and how a simple dish as a pasta, which is just basically flour, egg, and some seasoning, can be a 5-star meal on a restaurant. So that really inspired me on going on that direction from there on, from listening to his talk. So the 5 ingredients that was given to us was banana chips, wild oregano, some sort of cheese that looks like a Gruyere, lychee, and aloe vera. So I wasn't really worried about all those 5. I just want to make sure I want to make pasta. So as soon as the clock starts, my first initial prep that it took me 10 minutes was making the gnocchi. I made the gnocchi from scratch. I was just running back and forth, grabbing everything that I need. By the time that I had my pasta and tried to, compose my dish and worry about the 5 ingredients, my next idea is getting a protein. So when I went to the fridge, all the chefs had took in all the nice proteins. So I was left with bacon, like a thick cut bacon. So it kind of like worked to my favor because you made pasta and you have bacon. Best of both worlds. So make like a cream sauce. Incorporated the banana chips into a blender, make a flour out of it. So that would be my roux for my sauce. And then the oregano was mixed in, so oregano and the cheese was mixed in the gnocchi. And the oregano also was used as a pickling flavor for my lychee. And then the aloe vera was also went to the pickle liquid that stabilized it as a syrup consistency so that you can sauce it around. So basically, like, it all falls in line as soon as I had that vision of I'm making a pasta kind of thing. And that was it. It's very, very rewarding. Like, it solidifies your position that you're in the right spot of your field. That hard work do pays off kind of thing, you know. That's like how I simply put it in.
What does the future look like for Chef Paul?
What the future looks like for me, just elevating the company that I'm working for. You know, bringing in as much as I can to this company that's been there for me, helping me out grow in my position, giving me all the opportunities to grow and explore my field, just giving back. Possibly being more engaged with the community, especially in Norwood, probably doing some more things that involves the community more. We love going in Norwood Day. We love going on Westwood Day. So probably giving more community engagement with cooking, with food, everything. So that could be a really, really good way to do some like things that we never done in such extent, you know.
Norwood's annual town election is Monday, April 7th. Do you know who's running? To find out, watch the Norwood League of Women Voters annual Candidates Night on Monday, March 24th. It will be live at 7 p.m. on NCM's government channel. Sarah Cullen has all the details.
Hi, I'm Sarah Cullen with the Norwood League of Women Voters. Norwood's municipal election is coming up on April 7th. To help voters get informed, the League's annual Candidates Night Forum will air live on NCM's government channel on Monday, March 24th at 7 o'clock p.m. The forum will feature 4 candidates running for 2 seats on the Board of Selectmen. There is still time to submit questions for the candidates. Email your questions to lwvnorwoodma@gmail.com by Friday, March 21st. If you missed the live forum, NCM will replay it multiple times before the election, and it will be available on video on demand. Also, be sure to visit our website at my.lwv.org/Massachusetts/Norwood to view our online voters guide featuring written answers to questions from candidates in all contested and uncontested races, as well as lists of town meeting member candidates by district. Finally, make sure your voice is heard and get out and vote April 7th. Thank you.
When Norwood News returns, get the salt and sand off your car at Rojo's. Oscar Batista shares what's happening in school news, and Norwood athletes take it to the next level in Ron Marshallsea's latest sports update.
Tune in weekday mornings at 8:15 for one of New England's longest-running live broadcasts of a high school news program. NHS Update is produced by a dedicated crew of students who arrive early each day to bring the latest school news directly to classrooms and beyond. Using professional-grade equipment provided by Norwood Community Media, these students gain hands-on experience in live TV production while learning the various roles needed to create a fast-paced broadcast. The show covers everything from school news, announcements, and upcoming events to highlights from clubs, sports, and the arts. Special guests often join the broadcast to promote their events, and school administrators use NHS Update as a platform to communicate with the entire student body. NHS Update has opened doors for many students, with alumni going on to pursue careers in communications, broadcasting, and video production. Tune in every weekday at 8:15 a.m. for the live broadcast of NHS Update on the Community Channel, right here on Norwood Community Media.
Recreation Superintendent Sam White is at Tyler Lawrence Park with some important information heading into the spring season. So get ready to mark your calendars.
Hey Norwood, Sam White here, Director of the Norwood Recreation Department. I'm here once again at the soon-to-be Tyler J. Lawrence Playground. We're in the final phases of the project, and we're so happy to announce that on Friday, May 16th at 1 p.m., we will be hosting our dedication and grand opening of the playground. In other news, Haas Pool has been moving along great. They're just finishing up the pump room currently, and then we're waiting on the next couple weeks to pour the pool deck as well as the splash pad, with that grand opening being on Wednesday, June 18th at 2 p.m. So we hope to see you there. We are still looking for lifeguards. Applications are still available online or at the Civic Center. So if you or someone that you know would like to be a lifeguard and have some fun in the sun this summer, we'd love to have you a part of our team. Starting rate goes at $18.75. Our next event that's coming up is our Easter egg hunt, and we did get word from the Easter Bunny that we need some more candy. The more the merrier, so we are accepting donations at the Civic Center at 165 Manhattan Street. So feel free to stop by, bring us a bag of candy for all of our hunters out there, which we'll be hosting on April 5th on the high school lawn. We hope to see you there, and that's all for now.
The Trails Advisory Committee held a presentation at the Morrill Memorial Library this week to update the community on the progress of the last 2 years and an exciting vision for the future. Members of the Trails Committee share why they held this event.
Good evening. My name is Lee Leach, and tonight the Norwood Trails Committee, the Norwood Trails Advisory Committee, is giving a presentation on their progress from the last 2 years, which has been quite exciting and should be very interesting to the community and those who are listening. So tonight's discussion, we're going to cover in basically 4 parts. The first part will be a little bit of background, what the Trails Committee had been doing over the first 4 years or so, and then we're going to have a little bit of special presentation as to what the public can expect when they go out in open spaces and trails areas in the community. And then we're going to have a third session on actual work on the ground, boots on the ground trail work over the last 2 years, which is very, very exciting because we've opened up quite a number of trails and areas near the Neponset River that was not open until only a couple years ago. So that's going to be really exciting for the community to learn about. And then finally we're going to wrap up with what we see is happening in the next year to 2 or 3 years out. So
basically we've kind of dissected, you've heard about where we are today. Now we're just looking forward, and we've divided the future into 3 different terms: short, medium, and large, short, mid-range, and long-term. So really what we're all about now, and this could, this is basically from now until the winter time, let's say. The important things that we're in, we're knee deep in many of these things. Cooper Park in South Norwood will come online. Ribbon cutting is May 9th at 4:30. 4:30. Thank you, Alex. Right, that's this magical 7-acre lot that was originally intended for new car storage, and one thing turned into another, and all of a sudden there's trees there and deer and 30 plus members of the Balch School faculty who we walked out, and we walked the property last week, and they were like, you could just see their eyes light up. Talk about stay curious. But the faculty are so excited to have this resource right next door.
Now let's toss it over to Oscar Batista for the latest in school news.
I'm Oscar Bautista, and let's check out what's happening in our Norwood schools. In Norwood High School news, Dr. Michael Crowley and Mr. Brendan Crowley want to give a big shout out to the 20 outstanding NHS engineering, robotics, and intro to engineering students who volunteered their time at the Oldham School's STEAM Night. This year marked the 20th year that these students volunteered their time at an MPS Elementary School's Math and Science STEAM Night. The Oldham School students test drove the NHS Technology Olympics rovers, and they also learned about the Advanced Honors Robotics 1 and Honors Robotics 2 projects on display, directly from the project creators. A big shout out to Oldham teachers Carrie Pritchard and NHS Oldham School STEAM Night Liaison, NHS Junior Regan Pritchard. At the Coakley Middle School, grade 7 students have been exploring biology as part of their project Lead the Way Medical Detectives Unit. Earlier this month, they took each other's vital signs as they explored how to diagnose a patient, and this week, they dissected sheep brains to really dig into how the brain functions. At the Balch School, Norwood School Nutrition's Moody, confident, strolled into the Balch to spread all good vibes. School Nutrition introduced the students at the Balch to a zucchini and squash casserole. Squash benefits the body and mind in a variety of ways, including digestive health, the immune system, eye, bone, and even heart health. With some slight hesitation, students found the confidence to give the savory dish a try. The purpose of the Mood Boost program is to encourage our students to try new healthy foods while educating them on their health benefits. More Moodies will be sure to visit our friends at the Balch. At the Callahan School, here are the student book buddies getting together to share some reading. At the Cleveland School, if you take a lot of green, sprinkle in Irish step dancing from the Harney Academy, and at the Cleveland School's very own Sophie Dunn on the stage, you get a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Local children's book author Josh Funk talked to the Cleveland second grade this week about picture books, wordplay, and how writers come up with ideas. And the first grade learned all about how to spot which animals might live right here in our area, and which ones do not based upon their traits. During the Zoo New England enrichment, students discussed animal adaptations needed to survive. The Prescott School also celebrated St. Patrick's Day in style with Irish step dance performances by the Harney Academy of Irish Dance of Walpole. Irish step dance is performed for the whole school with a mix of soft shoe, hard shoe, and figure dances, as well as traditional ceilidh and set pieces. There were 2 extra special guests, Ainsley and Avery, Prescott School Secretary Mrs. Croak's granddaughters. This was a joyful way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. The Willett kindergarten students have read their way 400 books to New York City. The staff and students celebrated with a New York City themed Spirit Day. They saw a lot of Broadway stars, some Wall Street bigwigs, and even the Times Square New Year's Eve ball drop. They are on their way west. Stay tuned to see where they go next. At the Little Mustangs, Miss Duggan's students took a deeper dive into colors and how mixing certain colors can make new ones. Students started by playing many different games that worked on their matching, labeling, and identification skills. The story Mouse Paint helped students learn about how mixing primary colors makes orange, green, and purple. They even played a Who is Hiding the Color Mice After, one of their new favorite games. Students became color scientists by looking through color glass to change the color of their world, using microscopes to look closely at the different colors of real objects, and by having fun with kaleidoscopes. Finally, students used a variety of colorful scarves to dance along to songs. That wraps up this week's school news. A big thank you to all the teachers who keep us in the loop with their updates. It really helps us see the wonderful things happening in our schools. Reporting for Norwood School News, I'm Oscar Bautista. And now here's Ron Marshall with the latest in sports.
I'm Ron Marshall, and this is your Sports Update. Last weekend, senior Natalie Martin competed at the Nike Indoor Nationals in New York, setting a new personal record in the mile. Martin finished 5th in her mile section and placed 27th overall, facing off against some of the best runners from New Jersey to Toronto. It was an impressive performance, and she had an outstanding day on the track. Congratulations, Natalie, and best of luck with your future running career at Holy Cross. And just in case you haven't seen it, Natalie was interviewed by track head coach Amy Worcester on the most recent episode of NCM Sports Talk. To watch the full interview and episode, keep an eye on the NCM community channel or watch on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Norwood made its mark in the WNIT basketball tournament as NHS class of 1983 NHS Hall of Famer and Stonehill head coach Tricia Brown faced off with NHS class of 22 and UMass Amherst basketball star Megan Olbrys. Olbrys was the leading scorer for UMass, dropping 20 points, adding 9 rebounds, 3 assists, a block, and a steal. The Minute Women head to the University at Buffalo in New York to face the Bulls on Sunday the 23rd at 2 o'clock. And that is all I have for this sports update. I'm Ron Marshall, and Norwood News will be right back after this break.
The Finance Commission met Tuesday to review the FY26 general government budget. Town officials, department heads, police, fire, and the DPW were all in attendance. Town Manager Tony Mizuko reviewed department budgets and the main cost drivers of the general government budget. Finance Commission members discussed changes as the presentation proceeded. Following the presentation, the Commission and Mr. Mizuko discussed funding of reserve or stabilization accounts with some of the free cash available and long-term budget planning for the town. The school committee held its public budget hearing Wednesday night. While the school committee is still looking at a Tier 1 reduction going into fiscal year 2026, several attendees raised their hands to be heard during this hearing. Following her colleagues, Teachers Union President Jody Smith spoke vehemently about what this reduction will look like at the elementary level.
You have heard from my colleagues. Their concern is for their students and for the amount of time they are going to lose and the instruction that they are going to lose. The wonderful specialists sitting behind me have created a robust curriculum that they currently give every single day. That will be lost because of the amount of time that it is going to take to set up and break down and then travel to schools. Not any other teacher in this district is asked to travel that much during the week. You also have to think about an art class, especially when you're dealing with first grade, second grade, and what they offer. Because a class is going to start, and as soon as that class starts, 35 minutes tick away, and at the door comes in the next class. That will be a first grade class going to maybe a fourth grade. Those skills are absolutely different. So when the teacher is trying to set up for the next class, those materials are completely different. Now, the way the schedule is set up is there may be 2 back-to-back second grades or maybe 2 first grades back-to-back. That amount of time is different when you have back-to-back grade levels. The stress that this has put on the staff and will put on the staff because of the travel. You finish your class, you have a 30-minute travel time, you have a 30-minute lunch. You have to pack up your things at school A, you are going to have to then unpack everything at school B. We have always here tried to keep first grade not having specials in the morning. That will no longer happen because one building will have specials all in the morning and then others all in the afternoon. So by the way that will be set up, first grade will have specials in the morning, which is their optimum time for learning. Second grade was also a minimum of specials would be held in the morning. I can't say enough about the collaboration that we have had in the buildings with our specialists because they have been able to develop those relationships, not only with the students, but also the families and with their colleagues. I do understand the problem that you're in. I do attend all those budget balancing meetings, so I do understand. However, I am asking you to take another look and maybe find something that is not student-facing. That has been something that this committee has always done, to try to look at programs and positions that do not affect the day-to-day, face-to-face of the students. So I would like to thank everyone who is here today. I would like to thank Jeff, Dr. Munoz, Mr. Luff, Amy, and Aaron. They have worked tirelessly in trying to figure out this jigsaw puzzle. And the only way they can do that is to have some of these positions back. So thank you.
During the Budget Subcommittee update, Teresa Stewart noted that the Finance Commission would like to know what a fiscal year 2027 budget would look like without any free cash added to it.
One thing you should know that came out of the Finance Commission meeting that isn't the best news, they did ask us as we start to look at FY27 that we build the budget on the assumption that no free cash will be infused. That is roughly, how much free cash? 2 million right now? Is that right? That we put in our budget?
For our budget?
For FY26.
So well, whatever portion of the 8 million they're using would be hours.
Yeah. I'm just
So-
trying to think what that means for FY27. How much money we would be looking at removing from our budget.
I mean, if we're 60 or 70% of the town, we're talking about a lot.
Which is insane.
So more like
You
4
know.
million.
Yeah,
Right.
probably
Yeah.
more
Four, okay.
4.5 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we continue to figure out FY26, it's really important to me to help the community understand what then comes next. And FY27, what the FinCom had said is they would like us to look at building that budget without the expectation of any free cash going into it.
Teresa, could I request that you, with the town partners, inform us when that has ever been done in the history of this town?
No free cash?
Yeah.
That is a great question.
Thank you.
I can try to get that answer.
The school committee will meet again on March 26th at 6 p.m. Here's Brian Boudreau with what you can expect on this year's town election ballot.
The town election is April 7th. Here's a quick look at what you'll see on the ballot. There are only 2 contested races this year. 4 residents are running for selectmen with only 2 seats available. Bob Donnelly, Cheryl Doyle, Amanda Grow, and Steve Konecny. Donnelly and Grow are the incumbents. The other contested race is the Board of Health with only 1 seat available. Carolyn Riccardi is the incumbent and will be running against Catherine Unger Peer. And here's a look at the unopposed races.
Thanks, Brian. And speaking of election, here's a reminder on mail-in voting from the town clerk's office. Anyone that wishes to vote by mail must complete an application. There are applications available around town, including the library, senior center, civic center, town hall, and light department. The application is also available on the town website, or residents can call the town clerk's office and request an application be mailed to them. Deadline to apply for a vote by mail ballot is Monday, March 31st, 2025. No application will be accepted after that date. All ballots must be returned to Town Hall on or before Monday, April 7th, 2025 by 8 p.m. Ballots can be dropped off in drop boxes at Town Hall, the brown box in front of Town Hall, and the blue box in the back parking lot. Deadline for voter registration is Friday, March 28th, 2025 at 5 p.m. Any questions, call the town clerk's office at 781-762-1240. Winter is finally ending, thank God, so it's time to wash the salt and sand off your car. On this week's Living Local, NCM heads to Route 1 to Rojo's.
Serving the town of Norwood since the late 60s, Rojo's has grown from a small car wash to an automotive one-stop shop.
So Rojo's is a business that serves automotive needs of all kinds. We recently ventured into the food business as well, having a store here with a chef, having made-to-order food and a high-quality grab-and-go. Kind of got the idea from stopping at rest stops in Maine when you would pull over and you would get high-quality food at a gas station, which is kind of new to Massachusetts. But other than that, all automotive needs, just trying to detail cars, wash cars, fuel cars, anything we could think of that would serve automotive other than mechanical items and getting car repairs done. My father, growing up, came from nothing and really just worked his butt off to get where he was. And he always taught me that when all else fails, try again. He invested in the farmland in Norwood and bought a little piece of property on Route 1, which is currently the old Fiat store. And he put a little small, what they called the whirly wash back then, and that's how it started. And he just felt that there was a need to wash cars. People liked their cars. At that point, most car washing was done at home in your driveway, but he saw the need that it would be a service-based business in the future. It just goes to show you that when in life, when you think you hit rock bottom, try again, and eventually you'll succeed. Persistence does pay off.
And paid off it did. Rojo's has grown to 4 locations in recent years, with 2 locations in Norwood on Route 1 and Dean Street, as well as a new state-of-the-art car wash in Walpole and Wareham.
We put a conveyor belt versus an old school metal track. Customers enjoyed that experience. And then we opened one up recently in 2024 in Wareham down the Cape to expand our reach. That's one growth we've had, but the other growth is that society is shifting from at-home car washing. At-home car washing, you would drive in the 70s around on a Saturday, and many people would be washing their car in their driveway. Due to 2 main reasons, that's slowed down dramatically. One is people are busier these days and they pay for services more than they used to. And number 2 is the environmental effects. When you wash your car in your driveway, all of that water, that dirty water, goes into the storm drain system, where when a car wash, it goes through the proper treatment and gets pumped out, or it goes through a gas oil separator and gets cleaned before it enters anything.
Rojo's has been part of the Norwood business community for over 50 years, and Shelby is grateful.
Norwood's great. I love Norwood. Born and raised. My grandmother was born here. My grandfather was born here. My mother was born here. And I was born here. I love Norwood, right? But I will say they're also business friendly. Norwood's done a really good job of keeping their Route 1 corridor full, vibrant, and effective. By effective, I mean it gives a great tax base to the town to keep residential rates low. So doing business in Norwood's been great, from town hall to the building department to the manager's office. Everyone is very, very business friendly in the right areas. I mean, I've talked with multiple people in town hall, like I mentioned before, the planning, everything, and they've been really, really open-minded and responsive on ideas.
Shelby teamed up with a big name in Norwood business, Ernie Bach Jr. The two came together to give back to the community by giving away free gas not once, but twice in 2022.
Ernie called me and said he wanted to do something great for the community. And you never know what that means with Ernie, because Ernie has these big ideas, and I don't think we're at the level of Ernie idea-wise, but he's like, I want to give away free gas. And my thought was like, that's gonna cost mayhem. How do we do it, right? And I go, do you know how much that costs? And he's like, yeah, we'll cap it and we'll do a generous donation to give back to the community. So I'm like, I'm all in. We'll figure it out. Ernie bought all the gas for these people, which was such a nice thing. And then we provided food giveaways, extra staff on site. We gave a ton of food to people just so they could, while they're in line sitting there, they got something to do. And who doesn't like a free snack, right? I had one lady tell me that she couldn't pay her rent that month, and it was a choice between food or gas that week before her paycheck came. And she was gonna choose food, but then couldn't have gas for work. And this one tank of gas, call it $60, changed the trajectory of her week, month, year. That's amazing. So due to Ernie's generosity and the outlet here at Rojo, we were able to help a lot of people. And that was only one story. There was multiple more, but that one I won't forget.
Shelby is always looking for ways to improve customer experience.
So the future plans of Rojo, we're gonna keep trying to grow the business, trying to better our technology. We've had some technology challenges in the past where items we try to work on to get better, there's no technology solution out there. I speak to some of my customers and they go, why can't you get this right? And I'm like, honestly, I have such animosity towards some of my technology providers because we don't build our own technology. These are large mega corporations that build technology. We just buy the technology that's provided to us. And we try to buy the best technology on the market. So with technology, my number one thing is reliability. Functions, being able to have cool add-ons. If it's not reliable, I don't want it. And in our industry, it started as a mom and pop industry. So technology is just starting to it's pretty much at its infancy right now in the car wash business. And we're gonna see it get better and better. But my growth will be through technology and implementing better technology on site, and also through growing the site count and growing the business, and doing that through hiring great people and taking care of our people here, because our people are the backbone of our company. It's not Rojo, it's really the employees of Rojo that are the backbone of Rojo.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.